going on, guys? Dale Valor here from Modern Valor Dating. Listen, so many of you guys are on dating apps, and there's nothing wrong with that. I fully endorse being on dating apps, regardless of what you may have heard. I do think that cold approach is a better avenue, but hey, look, man, if it's working for you, it's working for you. Who am I to tell you that you should do something different? You know, whatever works, works. And if you aren't using dating apps, I suggest that you do, because why not supplement your pipeline, man? There's a lot of things that go into it, and we have a bunch of information here that can help you out and help you get that sorted out. But at the end of the day, you're on there. You're swiping left, right, however you're doing it, right? You're going to match with some people. You're going to match with some of these girls. There should be a screening process in place. And that's what we're going to talk about today is when you're using a dating app, what are some red flags to look out for? So I thought about it a little bit, got a few ideas for you, and we're going to hop into it right now. Let's get it. Number one, no body shot. Here's the deal, man. If she doesn't have a body shot, in likelihood, she's trying to hide something. You know the deal. When you see those selfie pics where the camera's like way up in the air, that kind of thing, to try to make it look a little bit slimmer. You know, like, the thing is, that's a red flag to look out for, in my opinion. However, that being said, she may not just be comfortable with her body. It might be totally fine. She might be banging hot, and she doesn't see it because she has low self-esteem or something like that, and she's afraid to show it off, or maybe she put on 3 pounds and she's all hypersensitive about it or something like that. So just because she doesn't have one doesn't mean necessarily that she's trying to hide something. In her mind, she is, but it might not be that big of a deal. And so the thing is, man, what you should look to do is, if seemingly everything else is fine, you know, continue that conversation, but don't try to set up a date until you know for sure. I find one of the best ways to get a body shot from her is when we're in conversation, I'll say something to the effect of, you're not in a wheelchair or a paraplegic or something, are you? And she's going to be like, oh my God, no, ha ha ha, why would you ask that? And I'm going to say, well, I didn't see any pictures with your legs, so I thought maybe you were trying to, you know, be a little slick about it and not let me know that you're actually in a wheelchair or something. And then she's going to be like, no, I'm definitely not in a wheelchair. And then I'll be like, prove it. I'm not trying to get catfished. And then putting the onus on her to send me a body pic of some sort. And then that way I know, and I have a frame of reference. Is this acceptable for me or not? You know, so keep that in mind. All right, we're going to get into number 2. Let's go. Number 2, she wants money. All right, now this seems like it would be common sense, but maybe common sense isn't that common, because there's a lot of girls on there, if they're even girls, you know, it might just be fake profiles and things like that, where what they'll try to do is juice you for money. Oh, this situation came up. Here's my Cash App. You know, that kind of thing. Can you send me $20? I really need it. I really appreciate it if you could help me out. That type of deal. And so, you know, clearly it's not a for real thing. She's on there, if, like I said, if it's even a her, she's on there to try to get guys to give her money. Now, this must work because it happens a lot. So if you run into that situation, just know that, look, it's probably not for real. I feel like I don't even need to say this, but I'm going to anyway. You're going to want to unmatch her sooner rather than later. And some of them could be really slick, where it's like, what they'll do is they'll coax you along over days of conversation, and in which case you shouldn't be doing that anyway, if you've watched any of my other videos on Tinder and Bumble and all that kind of thing. But nonetheless, they'll try to coax you along in conversation so they're not just like straight up front with it, and then try to work it into the conversation, okay? And, you know, that, to me, that's a no-go. Seems obvious to me, but I guess it must be said because guys keep falling for it left and right, okay? All right, we're going to get number 3. Let's get it. Number 3, she won't talk on the phone. I've said this a million times. Look, you should get her on the phone at least once before setting up a date and a time. Why do I say that? I say that because, well, there's a few reasons actually. One, look, you should be screening her as much as she's screening you. Guys often look at this like they're going to a job interview or something like that, where they're going to get hired to be her guy for the night or a boyfriend or whatever the case might be. But you should be screening her just as much, if not more, man. And one of the ways to do that is get her on the phone for a phone call. You know, what if her voice is like mine? Okay, your gravelly voice and that kind of thing. I'm really hoping that I'm not turning you on right now. All right, I really hope that's the deal. So, look, if you want to be able to find out a little bit more about her, getting her on the phone is one of the ways to do that, to build a little bit of extra comfort, okay? The other thing, too, is if you get her to commit on the phone to a date and a time, it's a lot less likely that she's going to flake on you. Because just psychologically, she said yes to a real live person. It's easy to dismiss somebody that you were just texting or that you were just working inside of the messenger in whatever app you were on. It's a lot easier to dismiss that because you're not a real person yet. All you are is characters on a screen. That's it. So she can say, oh yeah, and she may have all the intention in the world. Oh yeah, let's hang out. This would be so much fun. In the moment. But then when that time comes, she doesn't really feel like it. Had a long day at work. Whatever. Just another guy. Psst. No big deal. So that's another good reason to get her on the phone. Another reason to get her on the phone is that if she won't get on the phone with you for a phone call, do not think that she's going to show up for that date. Okay? You made a date and a time. If she won't talk to you on the phone, if she can't even commit to that, what makes you think that she's going to be brave enough to meet up with a stranger in public? You know, I mean, I'm not saying that it can't happen. I know many guys make set up dates through the app or through texting and things like that, and it's just fine. What I want to do is eliminate as many factors as I can to up the likelihood of her showing up and not flaking at the last minute or not showing up at all or ghosting or something like that. I want to cover all my bases and I want to go with what I feel works the best. And I think having that conversation does a world of good and shows you a lot about who she is if she answers or don't answers. All right, guys, we're going to get into number 4. Let's go. Number 4 seems too good to be true. All right, so what do I mean by that? Why is that a red flag? Hey, you want to match up and link up with a girl that you're on the same page about a lot of stuff and she's attractive and all that, right? I mean, that makes sense. That's what you're there for. However, if you haven't taken advantage of some of the other videos that we've done on dating apps, and you are used to a certain level of attractiveness that you match with, if you just have this bombshell that just comes out of nowhere and starts talking overly sexual to you and all this and that, man, it's not real, okay? It's a fugazi. It doesn't exist, okay? Now, you could tell me, you could say, Dale, that's a limiting belief. Okay, fine, you can say that, but I'll say this in response to that. Come on, man. Really? It's not a limiting belief. That's just reality of what it is, okay? And so, look, you should be looking to get those girls. You should be looking to do that. Look, you should be looking to up your dating app game, but here's the thing. If you haven't put any work into it, and you've only been getting girls that are just mildly attractive or something like that, and you don't have good pictures on there, and you know it, your bio is lazy, and you know it, and you know what you've been matching with, and then all of a sudden, bam, here comes this overly sexual bombshell who just wants to get it on immediately, man, that's a red flag. Because that's just not how it works. It's just not how it operates, man. In my mind, that's a setup. Like you're about to get ran for your money. Somebody's about to rob you is what I think is going to happen. So look, if that happens, get her on the phone. Okay? Because if she will not get on the phone with you, chances are it's a dude, it's someone just jerking your chain, it's not real, and you're saving yourself a whole lot of time and effort by just cutting that thing off right when they will not get on the phone with you or exchange numbers or something of that nature, right? So that's the thing, man. Just be on the lookout for that because that kind of thing does happen. And listen, I would be curious to know, what is your worst dating app experience? You know, did you go out on a date and it was just a terrible date? Did she catfish you? Did she flake on you, ghost you? Did something crazy happen? Did she run out on the bill or kidnap somebody or something like that? I would love to know that, man. So drop that in the comments so we can chop it up and maybe share a few laughs over it, right? All right, we're going to get to number 5. Let's go. Hey guys, wanted to take this quick time out just to remind you, if you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so now. Why? Because we're putting out videos 3 times a week to help you level up your dating life, your personal life, every aspect of your life. And that's what we're here to do, and that's what we're gonna do. So make sure that you subscribe, like the video, share it with somebody that you know needs to see it, and I know that you know somebody that does. In addition to all of that, the last Saturday in July, we're going to be doing our monthly live Zoom event. And this month, we're going to be talking about overcoming your limiting beliefs. So all you got to do is register and show up. It's 100% free. Number 5, she has an OnlyFans. Okay, look, this is kind of an extension of, I think you see a theme here. This is kind of an extension of what we talked about before. Here's the deal. If she has an OnlyFans, likelihood, that's what she's trying to promote. Now, I will say this. If she doesn't even bring it up, okay, and she's willing to meet up, you're gonna go out on this awesome date and all this and that, you talk to her on the phone, she hasn't really brought it up, maybe she has it linked on there, but she hasn't really said anything about it, okay, then it's a yellow flag, all right, because it may pop up later or something like that, but odds are she's trying to get people to subscribe to her OnlyFans, and that's a no-go. Don't do it. Don't be that chump, man. Don't be that sucker that falls into that. You know, you want to be the guy establishing the strong frame that you want her to fall into. And if you are shelling out dollars to see her topless, God help you. Okay, that's all I can tell you. All right, so just don't do it. So listen, man, we talked a lot about dating apps in this video, right? I mean, that's the whole premise. But we have a video where we really go deep on how to set up your profile, how to put it together, how to make it work for you. So that's what I think that you should check out to start upping your game. Like we talked about earlier, man, it's only going to help you in the long run. Just don't be lazy about it, all right? So go check that video out now, figure out what's up, and I will see you there.